Hey y'all, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review. This is for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 12. And let's go ahead and just get right into it really fast before we do. We're at 800 subscribers. Insert hand claps. So thank y'all so much for supporting me, checking out my content. If you haven't already and you enjoyed the video, don't hesitate to subscribe because this is a growing channel and we're trying to grow. We got goals over here, so I need y'all help. Tell a friend to tell a friend, all the things, okay? And thank you for all the birthday wishes. They are truly appreciated. Y'all really made my day, okay? So we pick up where we left off with Stormi's family drama. Bottom line, nothing gets resolved. Like they really try to set it up like something was really about to pop off when Betty done walked outside. When Stormi was talking to Aunt Lisa, she walked outside and added nothing. Nothing happened. Stormi asked her mom to go hug her Aunt Lisa, and Betty said, "How am I gonna hug somebody that's walking off?" Now I thought that was a little funny. I ain't gonna lie. So we immediately 2 seconds move on because that was a waste of time. We move on to Martell. He sees his therapist. Martell's upset because he said, there's a lot going on today. My babysitter canceled. My mama didn't want to watch the kids. All that. He feels entitled and he thinks his mama is just obligated to sit around and not have a life and just watch his 5 children. Shableys. I ain't gonna be one of them. Like, I might watch them every now and then, but don't just be thinking I'm gonna be at your beck and call every time you want me to watch 5 children. Who child? She don't have to watch your children. Like, it's nice when she does it, but she's not obligated to watch them every time you call her. And then want to talk about Melody with her babysitters. So the therapist asks about Martell's dad. Marcel said he hasn't spoken to his dad in a year. And he was like, he doesn't blame his dad being absentee for, the trajectory of his life. Like, he thinks that's making an excuse. Like, he can't use that as an excuse for decisions he made. That's very true, but that does play a part in, like, your makeup and the way you move and the things you do. Not having that relationship does make a difference, good, bad, or indifferent, on someone's life. Martell mentions he has a younger brother, who's 5 years younger than him, so we're going to get into that later. Kimmi and Maurice have paint and sit, painting with a twist. It was dine and wine, something like that. They was painting and drinking. And it's a nice little date night that probably should have just been for them too, but they invited the Scots 1.0, so they're going to arrive in a little bit. In the meantime, they get there and the instructor mentions, like, whatever they're painting, she was like, you want to wash it by hand, don't put it in the dishwasher because you can mess it up. And Maurice was like, oh, well, that's your department. He is really, he's upsetting me and my homegirls. Like, that last nerve, he jumping all over that thing. Ooh. And she like, you can pick up a dish too. What? Clearly he doesn't, ain't been doing it, and don't plan on doing it, and ain't gonna do it. He do what he want to do. It took him 100 years to marry Kimmi in the first place. Let's not forget. So if you think he about to start washing dishes now, even with her health issues and everything going on, he don't care. He is a Scott brother. So Scott's 1.0 arrive. And good. And they start talking about Maurice Jr. I ain't gonna lie. I love blended families. If y'all ain't new here, I got a blended family Instagram page. This is dedicated to Black blended families _. Go check it out if you haven't already. It's dedicated to the blended families of it all. Like, I understand, been there, got the t-shirt, everything with my son. When his father was in a long-term relationship, had to deal with the stepmom. When, I was engaged to my daughter's dad's still his boneless parent. He's still an active father figure in his life. It's a whole thing. But it don't gotta be, like, Maurice is making something that ain't difficult for the sake of a storyline. And I don't like that. So they start talking about Maurice Jr. Maurice Jr. probably closed off because he's tired of y'all putting his business out on Front Street. Like, pick something else. Don't use me as a storyline for this TV show. And I don't blame him. But nothing else to see here. Nothing else goes on. Did y'all find an apartment? Okay. So Martell's brother visits. We get to see him. The show was a whole lot more interesting when Martell and Melody was together. Uh, Whatever. Let's let the past be the past, y'all. So they discussed their upbringing, and Martell is going, how Martell went down a different path, and he said it was thanks to ROTC in middle school. I didn't know they did ROTC in middle school. I thought they just did it in high school. But he said he was in an alternative school, and then he ended up, going down, that helped him go down the right path. I don't like that narrative of alternative school. Like, it's strictly, like, if you're just terrible and like a bad student. Because I actually, at one point, when I was in high school, went to an alternative school. I'm going to just give you a little story, a little background, let you into my life a little bit, just real quick. Real fast. I went to alternative school because my credits, my grades, like I was skipping school and doing all those things my freshman year, was having a hard time, getting my credits back up so I could graduate on time. And so I opted to go to the alternative school so I could graduate on time. And it wasn't because I was just being so bad. Like I wasn't, yeah, I didn't, I was skipping class, but I wasn't bad. I wasn't getting into fights. I wasn't getting into trouble. I wasn't anything. I worked. I went to school. I worked. That's all I really did most of the time. And every now and then I would hang out with friends, typical teenager stuff. But I went and I ended up, they were like, you could graduate early. My dad taught me how to graduate early, but that's a story time for another day. But it's not always a bad, like you're just bad and it's just a bad thing. But I'm glad that when he went, and with the ROTC, it changed his life because he was seemingly going down the same path as his brother, who just got out of prison. He said he just got out of prison. He just got a job, with FedEx. So shout out to him trying to, adjust back to being out in the world. He got married. And Maurice Martell was like, how was it being married? And he was like, this, hard. This is my first real relationship. And it's like your first real relationship and then you just rush and get married. It does take time to adjust. But Martell, so he started talking about, well, being married, being with the right woman, it really helps you as a man. It helps shape you and helps you be the best man you can be. And while all those things may be true, where was all this energy when you was married? Why didn't you keep the same energy in your marriage? Oh, see, it's easy to remember all those things when you lose it. Like, you done lost it, now you miss it. He clearly misses being married to Melody. Like, he just wants to be back in that marriage, but it's too far gone now. So Martell invites his brother to the Black Expo. When are we going to have this Black Expo so we can stop talking about it? I want to stop talking about it and I just want to be there. Like, let's just see what happened, okay? So over at Maurice and Kimmi's, they're having a sit down with Kiawa and Maurice Jr. And sometimes I just like to call him Jr. because that other little nickname, don't nobody like that nickname. Like, the boy's 16, let it go. So that's what this episode's about, rehashing the same old conversation again and again. And really that's what this season's about. Rehashing the same conversations again and again and again and again. Kiki and Tisha, same conversation again and again. Maurice, Kimmi, and they blended family, same conversation season after season. Melody and Martell arguing. That's just going to be what that's going to be. That's just what that is. Tiffany and Big Lou, after Tiffany stopped giving the drama and the mess over there with Sheree and other people's business, we don't even know what's going on with them. We don't even care. And they're trying to squeeze in Stormi and Courtney, but we that family drama only going to go but so far. We might need to, recast, shape things up. I don't know what we got to do. So Kimmi says a lot of things that make sense during this meeting that Maurice doesn't want to hear. He ignores her sound advice, even though she's already raised a fully grown man. See, he's like telling her like what she need to be doing, but she knows how to be a parent because she's done it already. So you need to give her a little bit more respect in that area. So I understand 2 different kids, but she's done it. Kiawa said, she did do everything for Junior. Like, she was washing his clothes, this and that. And Marisa said she babied him. And she did. She admitted she did. She did baby him. Babying is not good. I am not a mother, you know. It was just I was just a single mom with me and my son for a long time. So, you know, but I don't agree with just babying kids. Like, as they grow, you need to treat them their age. You need to give them responsibility that fits where they are in that stage in life. Like, I'm not expecting for you to act like you 20 when you 10, but you shouldn't be acting like you 2. So, you know. But, I mean, that was her only son, and it happens. So, Kimmi said there has to be a happy medium. Like, there has to be some middle ground between you acting like a drill sergeant and this baby. And can we talk about the drill sergeant? Because he keeps saying he doing boot camp. At first I thought, okay, are you taking the boy to boot camp? Has it gotten that bad? Because he really don't seem like he's really, you know, he really doesn't seem like he's doing anything abnormal for his age. So, but then come to find out the boot camp is simply Maurice waking him up early. Waking him up because you got to go to work early is not no boot camp. Like, anyway, shut up. So, Kimmi was like, look, he can't be responsible if he's not taught. Like, you just expect for him to just, well, he's 16 now, he's responsible. 15, we was treating him like a baby. 16, he needs to be this responsible young man. It don't work like that. He needs to be taught. Like, he didn't know how to wash clothes when he got here. So I taught him. Why his daddy ain't teaching? So Maurice gets in his feelings because he was like, I spent, because Kai was like, and Kimmi, they were like, well, because Kai was like, maybe he misses me. You know, he misses spending time with me. I'm sure he does. He lived with his mother his whole life, and then his father wanted him to come so bad, and then his father is leaving his stepmother to parent him. And he barely sees his mother. It's not like they live 10, 15 minutes away. She getting him on the weekends. No, she got to fly in to see him. So she's not seeing him often. So that, you know, maybe he's still trying to adjust. Maybe he does simply just miss his mom. So I'm sure that plays a part. And Kimmi was like, that's why you, as his other biological parent, you spend more time with him. And instead of just hearing what she has to say, he doesn't want to hear her. He likes to be a dictator. He like, I do spend time with him. I drop him off in the morning. I pick him up. When we stuck in traffic, that's hours of us talking. First of all, you be talking at him. Second of all, they was like, no, that's not. No, it ain't. And he's upset. You discredited me for spending time. Dropping off and picking up from school? Really? That is really not spending no time. Like, go spend time with. What does he even like to do? Do you know? Does he like to play sports? Practice playing basketball with him if he likes to do that. Does he like to do intellectual things? Just take him to the arcade. Take him out to eat. Spend time with him that way. Not just dropping him off and picking him up and thinking, well, I spent time with you. Kimmi said he spends most of his time in his room. He's a teenager. You got to pull it out of him sometimes. But he feels like he's doing more than he is. He really is giving himself like a pat on the back, thinking because he thinks he's present. You can be in the house and not be present. You can be there physically, but you're not involved. So there's a difference. You have to make a choice to be involved in these children's lives. So he had an attitude when Maurice Jr. seemed uninterested. He was like, your face is like, you're not really, you look like you don't want to be here. Again, he's a teenager. That's probably the same face he has on them car rides to and fro. So Kiawa picked up on Maurice Jr.'s body language and tells Scott's 2.0 that, you know, she wants to be more involved. Like, she can just tell. She just walked in and she sensed something going on with her son. We see a scene with Stormi. She's sad about her family drama. Courtney doesn't care that he fired Junior. Next, Maurice Jr. and Kiawa go out to eat. And he tells her, because she was like, you need to have people to talk to. And he's like, I do have people to talk to. I just don't want to talk to them. Maybe we need to find you some new people to talk to. If you don't want to talk to them, you got to talk to somebody. So she was like, that's not good. So Kimmi suggested to Maurice, because they're alone at this point, she suggested family therapy. And she was like, maybe just with the biological parents. Wonder where Kiawa's husband is. Why he ain't come this time? I guess he said, look, I came the last time and Maurice didn't show up. So if he don't got to show up, why do I? So Maurice is offended because Kimmi just wants the biological parents there. That's because Maurice acts like he's the bonus parent and he expects Kimmi to act like she's the biological parent. She's the primary parent. He acts like Kimmi was the one telling Kiawa, I want my son to move down here. So he get mad because he like, look, all the parents, everybody that's involved should be there in at the therapy session because we're all helping to raise him. That's true. Y'all can have conversations like you just did. But Kimmi was like, it might be overwhelming for him if four people are staring there looking at him for an answer. Maybe he does want to open up to just his parents. Like, maybe it might be better. Maybe gradually we can get there. But, you need to give that a chance. And he should be able to talk to Kiawa, his ex-wife, the mother of his child, alone. Without, like, we should be able to talk and parent without having to have other people involved sometimes. Like, if I wanted to tell my son's father something and I'm talking to him and his wife every time we have a conversation, like, sometimes I just want to just tell you about it because you're the parents. Then y'all can go do what y'all want to do. And sometimes we can do things together. Like, it don't have to always be that way. So Maurice tells Kimmi she and Kiawa really need to hash out their differences. And she was like, what differences? Like, what are you talking? Why does he keep doing that? Why does he keep doing that? Every time she says, hey, I need you to step up and be a parent to your child, he starts talking about, you got it. The real issue is you and Kiawa have issues. No, it ain't. Clearly, Kiawa don't have it. When Kiawa had an issue, she made it known, like, I don't really like you. And that's that. Kaya seems so far removed from that. Y'all both she's remarried, y'all married. Seems like everybody has moved on. It don't seem like there's no issue. If anything, it seems like Kiawa and Kimmi are usually more on the same page. There's nothing else to talk about. They don't need to be friends. They're cordial. They speak and they talk about what the real, who's important here, which is the child in the situation. There's no issue. It's like she can't. It's gaslighting and it's manipulation. I'm just gonna say it. So Kimmi said that's in the past and that's where it needs to stay. Maurice said, you really not over it. And she's like, what? So Maurice is dragging this for a storyline. We see a clip for next week that Kimmi and Kiawa meet and how Kimmi feels a way that Kiawa didn't debunk the mistress rumors. Y'all know how I feel. I think it was some overlap between them relationships. That's just that. But what we gonna do now? How many years has it been? It's time to move on. Not only for y'all, but for us, the viewers. We don't want it no more. But y'all let me know deep down in them comments how y'all feel about this episode. Don't hesitate to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Watch on through. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.